Yes.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Let's have this hackathon, mini hackathon to begin. I'm very happy to see everyone who's here, but let me introduce the team first of all. First of all, my name is Yulia. I'm the founder of OpenHub. You can find more about it on openhubproject.com. And I have PhD with economics and I have master with computer science. And the main thing, I am the founder of OpenHub, and I'm the initiator of HV Tech Fest. This is the only technology festival in the region. I'm excited to have an exciting team, like amazing, outstanding team, working with me side by side. And I will introduce this team one by one, starting with Dr. Cynthia Marcello. Please unmute yourself, introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Cynthia Marcello. I have a doctorate in management of information systems. I have a master's of science in IO psychology and also a master of business administration and e-business. And I am a faculty member. I teach computer science, data science, cybersecurity, and a lot of other things, programming and such. I'm very thrilled to be here. I'm very thrilled to just be among such wonderful folks, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Let me introduce the next team member, but everyone feel free to introduce yourself in the chat, and everyone I hope is on the Slack channel, right? So let's right now use the Slack, let's right now use the Zoom chat because it allows us not switch back and forth. But next, I want to see Judith introducing herself. She is a team member, so she will be helping us today and facilitating. Go ahead, Judith.
Thank you, Yulia. My name is Judith Rohatner. I've been a software engineer for 15 years, working mostly in enterprise development. I have a master's degree in computer science and an undergraduate degree in engineering from the University of Florida. I love my job. I am excited to tell other people about how great it is to do software engineering, and I'm so glad that all of you are here. Welcome.
Thank you, Judith. So the nice thing about hackathons is that you will be given the opportunity to network with our amazing team and actually to be exposed to job opportunities as well. Saying that, let me introduce next team member working today as the facilitator and core host, David Tchaikovsky. David, please introduce yourself.
Good evening, all. My name is David Tchaikovsky. I am a high school teacher. I'm here to represent the K-12 education system and say, hey, you know, we do creative problem solving in our classrooms, and I'm so excited to now be doing this with community members as well and to meet you all. So glad to be a part. Glad to facilitate a group too.
You have very interesting Twitter account, David. What's the name for that?
Teaching is STEM. There's a lot of science involved in the act of teaching. There's a lot of art involved in that as well. But I'm very interested in the science behind that, which is why I'm doing some graduate work in that as well.
Cool. Thank you, David. And last but not the least, John. And you can hear the sound of ukulele or some cool country music, right? And that's what John does. Okay, John Sturman.
Hi, I'm John Sturman. I'm a faculty member at Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. I teach computer science there. I also teach computer science for Columbia Green Community College. I'm thrilled to be here. I've taught classes in data analytics and that kind of thing in Python, and I'm a facilitator. I have a bachelor's in economics and a master's in engineering management. And I'm really thrilled to have the opportunity to play with you all.
So these are amazing people. Facilitating means assisting you, but we are the same curious as you are about artificial intelligence. And we will be exploring together what artificial intelligence is and how it can help us to solve challenges, which is subject to be defined. And I will ask John to say a few words about why hackathon? What's the beauty about the hackathons?
Yeah, very good. Thank you, Yulia. So you know, I know that some of you have not participated in hackathons before. Hackathons are really brilliant because you get to take whatever knowledge you have, which may be a lot or maybe a little, but actually apply it to something. And you know, the best thing about hackathons is collaborating with a team. And so, you know, you have what you have in terms of skills, in terms of experience, and you get to bring it and share that with others who have what they have to offer, which is their own level of experience, their own level of skill in whatever it is we're looking at. It's really a way to collaborate and engage with a really great technical focus. It allows you to practice skills that you have. It allows you to learn new skills and just get a nice different approach to how you would tackle a problem. And that's, you know, the collaborative part. And so, you know, it's really exciting what comes out of hackathons, you know, and it's because we don't know. It all depends on who you're working with. It all depends on what the problem is and how the chemistry of the group you're with. So I really wish you all a lot of luck and fun and, you know, engage to your heart's delight. I think that's enough, right?
Yes. If any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. As you can hear my strong accent, if you don't understand something, don't hesitate to ask in the chat, and our beautiful and capable facilitators will help a lot. Okay. I'm so glad to see familiar faces here. I have to mention why we are doing this mini hackathon. First of all, because we were given the challenge that hackathons are bad and everyone is scared by hackathons. And we know there are black hat hackers and white hat hackers. And we know people are not used to be at the hackathons and they think this is bad thing. So we're giving you the prototype mini hackathon, and we just want you to experience how does it feel to collaborate together and to do some problem solving. Today, specifically, we are running this mini hackathon not to really code, because hackathons are like hacking the problems, right? Not necessarily coding the solution. So today we will be mostly using the hackathon for research purposes to inform our future hackathon decisions. I will be honest with you. All our hackathons always have the umbrella theme and the challenge, and is always trying to solve challenges which we think exist in the Hudson Valley, the beautiful area where we live. Saying that, we have our assumptions, our rough assumptions, how to prove those assumptions. Is it worth to concentrate on this challenge? Is it worth to secure funding or fundraise for those challenges and problem solving these challenges? What are real challenges? Everyone has their own opinions. So today specifically, we want to explore what the real challenges exist in the Hudson Valley and how and what we can do for the beautiful place we live. Everyone is here from the Hudson Valley, I believe. If not, make sure to make a note. I know there are some Brooklynites here, so sometimes you are visiting our beautiful area, right? There are some Syracuse-based people. Who else? Actually, it's cool fun.
I would add that if you're not from the Hudson Valley, no problem, you're completely welcome, but come and visit us because it's really beautiful here. Although right now it's just starting to snow in my house, so.
Thank you, John.
That's for you, Cynthia. Cynthia is in Florida. She doesn't get snow.
Ah, she just left Hudson Valley. Okay, she's missing snow, I guess. Okay, what do we have next? I think it's Dr. Cynthia's time.
Yes, absolutely. So I am going to actually share my screen, and I'm going to go through some of the terminology because I'm aware that some folks may not know what some of the terminology is all about. Can you all see my screen, hopefully? Awesome, awesome, awesome. So our theme tonight is Open Data to AI, using ChatGPT to solve local problems. So some questions we want to use to frame our understanding and our approach to this hackathon is, what does the path from open data to artificial intelligence, AI, look like? Now, in a minute, I'm going to explain some of these terms, but we want to be thinking about, what does it mean to connect open data and AI? Also, how has AI been used to address issues in society? You've probably heard a lot of information in the news about AI. I'm sure you've heard about ChatGPT in the news and perhaps at school. And so these are things that everyone's pondering. What is this ChatGPT? What is AI? Is it good? Is it bad? What can we do to utilize the good in AI, right? So the question specifically for Mid-Hudson Valley is, how can we use AI tools and open data sources to inform us about issues in our local area? So what's really awesome is being able to take technology, problem solve as a group, and address problem areas that we are aware of, or maybe that we learn about in our inquiry, and apply those skills to solving those problems. So you're probably asking yourself, what the heck is ChatGPT? I'm going to explain that in a second, but that is, you're going to hear that in many different environments. And again, there's positives and negatives. We're going to talk about that, but we're going to focus on problem solving and positivity, because that's really our goal. So I have a little factoid, the last bullet. Did you know that the first chatbot program, Eliza, was developed in 1966 by Joseph Weizenbaum? How cool is that? So here we're talking about ChatGPT, which is basically a chatbot. And yet the first chatbot was developed in 1966. So this also sets the stage for technology being developed back in the day, as it were, and evolving into something different, but yet similar. And I thought that was very important to share with you. All right, so let's talk about some terms. We've got artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence is basically when you see technologies, or you utilize technologies that allow computers to act like humans. So for example, your Roomba vacuum cleaner, right? The little robot that books around your house and cleans your house. Well, it's able to do that because it has AI on board. It has sensors. It has basically the ability to see things and recognize things. There's also cognitive functioning, such as understanding and translating human language. So there are robots and other types of devices similar that can perceive human language and make some semblance of it based on the words that are used. And also, you all probably have used Netflix or something similar, where it makes, suggestions about what movies you should watch. Well, recommendation engines are basically founded in AI technology as well, and algorithms. And then, of course, analyzing data is often done with AI. So a chatbot is basically a virtual assistant. And if you've ever gone to like a website like Best Buy, or maybe a doctor's office, or maybe you're just looking for some type of service, right? A lot of times a little chat bot will pop up and ask you a question, may I help you? Type in your question and I'll try and direct you in the right direction, right? So this is based on natural language processing. So we all speak our native language, whatever it is, and we express ourselves using specific words and specific combinations of words to convey meaning to what we're trying to communicate. Well, that's the essence of natural language processing. Natural language processing is basically machine learning that allows you to understand what is being conveyed and try to perhaps attribute emotion to it or intent to it. So it's very fascinating. So now we get to ChatGPT. ChatGPT is a machine learning model created by the company OpenAI. And right now they have their research platform out there, and we're going to be utilizing that tonight. But basically, the machine learning model focuses on the human language. So when you type something in, it remembers what you typed. It remembers what everybody typed, and it's trying to refine how it's learning about us as humans. So it operates like a chatbot. It's similar to the customer service chatbots I mentioned earlier, and yet its whole goal is to serve up answers to your questions, to do research for you, and a variety of other things. So then we get to open data. Now, data is very valuable. It's used in many arenas. Data is used to inform us as far as trends and patterns and such. But when you have open data, it's a data that's available to the public. So you typically don't have to pay to gain access to it. You can download it and you can analyze the data, perhaps run some analysis around it to see, what does the data mean? What is it trying to tell us? So the beauty of open data is that you can use it for any purpose. You can change how the data looks because it is open and it is beneficial. So I think our next step, Yulia, is you, correct? Yeah?
I don't know.
Okay. I'm not sure, but we are going to sign up for ChatGPT, are we not?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right.
It's not me.
Yep.
It's everyone.
Okay. So here we have a link on the screen. All right. And I'm hoping you folks can see it. It's chat.openai.com. All right. Auth login. So /auth /login. All right. And I am going to actually demonstrate in a second, but I want you to sign up first. So give me a second here. Does someone want to type that in the chat for them? And
I'm doing that right now.
Thank you, John. I read your mind. I am AI.
Yes.
I am AI.
Actually, no, you're NI, natural intelligence, as opposed
Oh Lord, oh Lordy, oh Lordy. So what we
Okay.
want everyone to do is to browse to the link that John is posting in chat, pun intended, chat, and you're going to simply sign up, okay? And once you sign up, all right, I'm going to demonstrate how to use ChatGPT. I believe we're going to do that first, right, Yulia? And then they're going to test it out, right?
Let's give them a couple minutes to make sure
Okay.
everyone is not struggling with that. And if any
Absolutely.
questions, we're here to help.
So
Okay.
when you go to this website, it'll ask you to, basically sign up. So, fill in your email address or click the link for a Google account or whatever, and just get yourself to the opening screen where you can make queries.
That's right.
And you should see.
Yeah, they give you a very simple, it's basically log in or sign up. Once you sign up, next time you use ChatGPT, you will actually log in. And that's what I'm going to do in a second. Notice the interface. There's so much blank space. There's so many possibilities. The arena is yours, right? Now, keep in mind that this is a research platform. They are fine-tuning the algorithms, the machine learning models. So what's wonderful for students and researchers and such is you're learning, the machine is learning at the same time. So that's what's exciting about it. So I think once you're signed up, why don't you give a thumbs up in Zoom, and this way we know you're signed up. How does that?
Yes.
All right. Let me
Even
know.
Aisha is doing that. Look at this. She has thumbs up. That's amazing.
Awesome. So I'm going to jump over to my screen so that I'm ready to show you how this works.
Now, just note, Cynthia has a professional account.
Yes.
So what we would see will look a little different. That's
correct. So you'll see I have plus next to ChatGPT, and there is a paid version. I believe it's $20 a month. It's not necessary that you sign up for that.
It's not.
No, not at all. You can use it free, but because I teach these things, I have the paid version, and so it's a little bit different, but very similar at the same time. Yes, and thank you. Chat GPT-4, thank you, comes out next week. Now, with that being said, while we're waiting for everyone to get signed up, what's really awesome is as they evolve, you'll see changes in how it performs. Okay, so anything in technology is going to change. I think we all know that. So I'm looking forward to seeing those changes.
Cynthia, are you aware what the difference between ChatGPT-3 and ChatGPT-4 are?
I am. I don't know if it's germane to this discussion,
And
but
Skip,
if you want to quickly share what you know.
that won't take very long.
Awesome.
And I suggest renaming your because I don't know how to appreciate people for their
yes.
comments. For example, Rinchin.
Yes.
I don't know what's your right name. Am I saying this right? Okay. If you would probably rename yourself to make it easy for us to read.
Yeah.
Thank you for your
and
comments.
actually, I would like to piggyback off of Rinchin's comment, because yes, you can integrate OpenAI API, application programming interface, into your applications. So let's say, and I'll just give a scenario. Let's say you work for a company that has their own software and they want to utilize ChatGPT in their customer service offerings, so that they can better support their customers. The ChatGPT engine should be able to learn their customers' requests, figure out what products maybe they ask questions about the most common, figure out what types of items are most relevant. It will learn a specific customer base, for example. It could also be used in another environment, maybe in a hospital setting. And perhaps, you know, when someone comes to a particular kiosk, it could learn what patients need. There's a whole host of ways that you could integrate this into different applications. Absolutely. Yep. Yes. And Whisper APIs, which we could do a whole class on that. So all these terms get me very excited because technology is growing. And here's the thing, learning these skills, fine tuning these skills, you will start to, and I'm just going to go on the record and say there are certain things that you become passionate about as you move on through life. And you'll find that technology intersects very well with those passions. So you can follow what really makes a difference to you. Some people want healthcare, some want retail, some want architecture, some want agriculture, aviation. It doesn't really matter. It's what you're passionate about. And tonight we're passionate about solving problems. So
For social good.
For social good, that's correct, which is important. So are we ready?
How about Vientiane Academy is doing?
How are they doing? Okay.
Yay. Okay, Cynthia, you can start sharing next thing.
All
next
right.
steps.
So you'll notice at the bottom of my screen, I have a blinking cursor, right? So isn't it funny when we're at a blinking cursor, what do we type? So the way that you search for something is very important. However, ChatGPT is very forgiving. So since it's about social good, I'm going to ask it a question. What is the extent of poverty? And again, a lot of people focus on this, but I don't want to give you, you know, my thoughts. I want you to develop your own. What is the extent of poverty in? And I want someone in the audience to tell me what area they want to search for. Do you want to focus?
I would say the Hudson Valley.
Well, that's going to be their challenge, right?
Oh, I see. Okay.
So let's go with, I'm going to go with Africa. I'm just going to, you know, just generalize and say, let's go with Africa. So look at this, as it's responding. I wish I could type that fast. Thank you very much. There is the answer. So I asked the question, what is the extent of poverty in Africa? Notice I didn't use a question mark. I didn't have to because it's inferred. So it gives me a response. Poverty is a complex issue that affects many countries around the world, right? It tells you a little bit about the extent of poverty. It'll bring some stats into it. So for example, here, according to World Bank, The poverty rate in sub-Saharan Africa was estimated to be 32.3%. And basically, 1/3 of the population in the region lives below poverty line, which is defined as living less than on $1.90 a day. All right. So that gives you some statistics. Now, the last paragraph is essential, and I'm going to explain why. It says it's important to note that poverty is a multidimensional issue that extends beyond just income levels. Other factors are related to poverty in Africa, such as education, healthcare, clean water, sanitation, as well as conflict, political instability, and climate change. So as a researcher, whether young or old, you want to think about, okay, how do I narrow my focus down? Notice I started with poverty, but I didn't make an inference about poverty in healthcare or poverty related to clean water. You could start out that way, and ChatGPT would drill down further. All right. So it's important that you get savvy as to how you phrase your questions, right? I'm going to show you another one. I'm going to show them the Python example, right? So here's another one. Show me how to do, now mind you, do is not a very fancy word, how to do recursion. John likes this one, in Python. All right.
Hey,
And
coding.
right?
Hey, I can do coding instead of you, for you.
That's right. That's right. So check this out. First, it tells you what recursion is, which is super essential because you can't use words like recursion if you don't know what they mean, right? And then it relates it to Python. So notice the intersection, recursion and Python. And it gives you code, right? Which you could copy and put into, you know, Google Colab, Jupyter Notebooks, what have you, right? Whatever your IDE of choice is. And then it explains the factorial function, and math is very essential for folks, and how it's implemented here. And then it gives you the result, okay? So here's the thing. You could actually take all this code, dump it into your IDE and run it. Now, if you're a student and you're using this to get code, is that a good or bad thing? What do you think? I know Asa has the answer. What do you think?
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay, that's fair. That's okay. So let me put it a different way. When we're doing homework for our schoolwork, right? We want to make sure that we go out and do the research and that we find the original answers on our own, right? So that's something that's very important. So I just want to go on record that we're not suggesting that you do your homework this way, right?
Duh.
Ah, yes, we want to make sure, right? So, but let's say you wanted to learn Python and you wanted to learn more about recursion as a concept. This would be great because you could then take the code, put it in your IDE and see recursion in action, okay? So basically what happens is it starts saving your responses. You'll notice my poverty in Africa one is here, and I actually have 2 responses here because it melded them together, right? I didn't start a new chat. But if I wanted to start a new investigation, I would click on new chat, and now I'm creating a new line of questioning. So I want someone to give me a question that you want me to type. Anyone?
What is the state of digital divide in the Hudson Valley, New York?
Ooh, what is the state of
What
digital?
is digital divide, if anyone knows?
Oh, yes, yes. Now you want in Hudson Valley, right? All right. Now notice I'm not going to put a question mark because I don't need to. Ooh, it lied. All right. So it's saying as an AI language model, I don't have access to real-time data, but now real-time data is basically data that is occurring in real time. It does have the ability to tell you where data lives. I'm just giving you a hint, but it refers to digital divide as a definition. It refers to the gap between those who have access to modern tech and those who do not. In the case of Hudson Valley, New York, the digital divide may exist in different forms, such as lack of access to high-speed internet, digital literacy, and access to digital devices. And then, of course, it goes to some factoids, some statistics. According to the FCC, around 18% of households in New York State do not have access to broadband internet with speeds of at least 25 megabits per second. However, it's unclear how the statistic actually applies to the Hudson Valley, and that's because it hasn't done that intersection, right? So notice that there are some things it can answer really well, and there's other things that it is more vague on. It's not sure, and that might be a sign that you need to fine tune your question. Now, what's really awesome is it brought in amazing factoid. For example, there are initiatives that are taking place, which is really important. The Hudson Valley Digital Network, or HVDN, is a volunteer-run organization that focuses on promoting digital literacy and providing resources to underserved communities in the region. And there's also the Ulster County Broadband Task Force. So what's really nice is even though it didn't have access to real-time data, it had access and could generate real-time newsworthy. I mean, if you were looking for an organization to partner with, that would be wonderful, right? So what do you think?
I see amazing opportunities to use this for your research, for job applications and such, whether
Right.
actually it makes sense
Yeah.
to do things.
Right. So should I talk about the limitations of ChatGPT?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So there are limitations to ChatGPT. As I said earlier, you've noticed that it can generate content very quickly. It types very fast, right? It is a natural language processing model. So like this model and every other model that we know about, there is sometimes undesirable results. Now, because it's using spoken language and written language, if someone typed in something that was bad, it might have it in its database and it can actually focus on the bad stuff, right? So the content may be negative, inaccurate, or perceived as harmful because it's basically just spitting out what it learned. It's no different than if you say a bad word, someone else hears it, and then what, right? So we want to be aware that we may need to corroborate the information that we get with other sources. Just like when you're doing research on a paper that you're writing in school, you want to think about, okay, I got this article, but are there other articles that I could use to corroborate those results? And also, the model is trained using data that can be questionable. As I said earlier, it may not be totally accurate or credible. Remember, it's a research platform. So because of this, the outputs or the results are limited by OpenAI's moderation API. So they're trying to make sure you don't see bad stuff, but it's not guaranteed that you won't. So you always want to just remember that. It's very, very important. All right, so we're going to talk about group process. Yes, Yulia, I want to make sure.
I'm wondering what Asia is interested to learn or ask ChatGPT. What do you want to find? How you would like to use your artificial intelligence assistant? Do you have an idea already? Not yet? It's fine. Okay.
I think one of the things, there's so many things we could think of, right? So that's the exciting part. The possibilities and potential is really, really limitless, we'll say. But in a group, we want to focus, and that's what I'm going to be talking about next.
Are we ready to move to the breakout rooms just to explore more and to find our
We're going to
experiment?
Mm-hmm.
Are we? Everyone is ready?
Yulia, I'm going to leave this on the screen. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So what we will do actually next, I'm creating breakout rooms. And I'm asking my awesome team members to join those breakout rooms and to help you to facilitate those rooms. And I assigned everyone manually by now because I wanted you to collaborate together. Okay? Oops, where's my breakout rooms? They disappeared. Okay, I'm opening breakout rooms. And John, you need to provide the instructions. What are we going to do all together with our
Cool.
awesome mentors?
That's great. So for now, so we're all gonna go into breakout rooms. But in the meantime, before you go there, go play with ChatGPT. Do some of your own little research. Type in questions. Try out the engine. See what it can do. It can generate things. I've seen songs that were written by ChatGPT. I've seen short stories written. I don't know. Does it do anything visual, Cynthia? No, nothing visual. So 4 will do visual. Is that right, David? That's good. So
Yeah.
just type in some questions. Like we're used to typing queries into Google. ChatGPT is a whole nother dimension. So while Google, you type in a question into Google, it'll return a bunch of websites where you could find your answer. ChatGPT reads those websites and puts it all together and gives you an answer. So it's a really new dimension. And so we wanted you all to just spend a little time just playing with it. Kick the tires, take it out for a little test drive, see what you can come up with. And we're going to give you like 5 minutes. So we'll go to
maybe 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay, good. 2 or 3 minutes is fine. And then we're going to go into breakout rooms. We're going to start. So as you do your own particular thing, think about what you want to share with someone about it. What did you find? Okay, so go.
It's good time for you to ask questions if you have any questions, but take your time and go experiment. I don't know if it's a good time for me to provide some input, but your experiments shall be kind of social good driven. What does it mean? Ask artificial intelligence. Ask your AI assistant. What does it mean? Social good.
That's a good idea.
And it's interesting idea also just to think how to rephrase your question in a different format. So you actually can create new chat and compare chat results. For example, I'm comparing what the challenges exist in the Hudson Valley and what the issues exist in the Hudson Valley, right? And these provide me 2 different answers. One is saying it's not diverse enough, another is saying it's just really diversified. I'm wondering how come. How's it going with note taker for Asia?
It's there.
Good. You have something to share already? Oh, not yet. Okay, okay. So we will be not intimidating you. That's the purpose for breakout rooms, exactly. So what will be happening in breakout rooms? We are trying to have 4 people max, and you will feel more secure, more safe in those. And if so, take your 1 minute to share what you learned, what you observed. Okay? Saying that breakout rooms for 4 people, maximum 5, 1 minute for each person.
And,
5
and
minutes shall be good.
I want to just add one more instruction is as you work together, sharing, see which let's see how to put this, which idea among you sort of bubbles up to the top, which is the one that stands out. And we'll go around, when you're done with your breakout room, we'll do some sharing with everybody. So, engage and have fun with folks.
Are we expecting some sort of reports or summary from each breakout room?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah,
Yes?
I think that would be a great idea.
Absolutely.
Oh, cool.
Inquiring minds want to know.
That's right. And the natural intelligence in us.
Cool. If so, I'm ready to open breakout rooms. Ready? Steady? Go. Miss Chara, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
You're welcome to join room 4.
Room 4.
Do you see the opportunity to join the room?
Let me see. Oh, there we go.
Hello, Kenny.
Hi, we're having connection problems.
Okay. How can I help? You lost your room?
So we're using a different computer and we would like to join from this computer instead of
Okay.
the other one.
Okay. No worries. I will assign you the breakout rooms. Let me just see which room you were in with John Sturman, right?
I think so, yeah. John's room.
Room 3. Okay.
That's pretty good. That's great.
Okay, thank you.
Jordana, what did you come up with? Hi.
Welcome back. How was your experience so far?
We had a good experience. We one of the things we tried to make it do a bunch of ASCII art, and then
That's cool.
John had it make a bunch of song lyrics, and also then he thought about making it ukulele related thing. We looked up we asked it what the biggest problems in social good were for the Hudson Valley, and it listed those things, which were, some of them were affordable housing, the opioid epidemic, among others. And I asked it about philosophy and tried to see how advanced it could debate something as, I guess, non-fact related as philosophy. So that was sort of stuff we did.
This was the reporting from the group room 3, facilitated by John Sturman. Thank you, Connor, for summarizing it. Anything to add? Tian Academy? We're good?
I don't think.
Okay,
Yeah, we're good.
thank you. It sounds like Vincent want to summarize. What was your experience? Room 4?
Judith ran the show.
Sorry, I
Judith
just had to
Licati.
unmute. So who in our group wants to summarize? Peter, would you like to summarize, please? You're muted.
Thank you. Sorry. I'm not sure I really can summarize it in a very neat way. We had a discussion relating to an example that Vincent gave of Tesla, which was self-driving and killed a woman because she was in a crosswalk, if I understood it correctly, and didn't recognize that there was a person there, pedestrian, and tried to summarize I would say, the way in which the AI in the car was trained to detect situations, and that was a case that had not been adequately trained, I think, although I'm not sure we really described it in such clear terms. But did any one of you have something to add to that?
I don't know how to pronounce your name, so forgive me. Udemezu?
Udemezue.
Umezue. Thank you so much.
Udemezue.
Udemezue. Can you help us to summarize as well, please?
All right, so we're just looking at I would say the potential flaws that could occur from training AI models, and this flaw could come based on the data that was fed to the model. So, of course, it could escape the programmers. It could escape their attention that the data you're feeding in has something that creates a bias in the model. So, for example, the Tesla was fed with data of people crossing sidewalks and was trained to avoid hitting them. But when someone was crossing in the middle of the street without the sorry, not sidewalk, people crossing the zebra crossing, the crosswalk, and then when it was made a real life scenario where there was someone crossing not on the zebra crossing, it didn't take it as the person that should be avoided and ran the lady over, causing a fatal accident. And we also discussed cases of models that are trained to detect skin infections, and because the medical pictures available of skin infections online tend to have a ruler beside it, the model learned that rulers are infectious. So, once it sees the ruler in a picture, it assumes that's a skin infection. That kind of limitation. But something we didn't get to talk about because the time was too short with us. For example, a self-driving car is, it's going at a high speed and encounters two people on the road, perhaps a woman and a man, or an old person and a young, or a baby, a kid and a grown-up. and the car has to can only avoid hitting one of them, how does the car choose who to hit? Does it save the baby and kill the adult, or does it avoid the
trolley
adult and kill the
problem.
baby? That becomes that issue that could come up, in a real life scenario. So yeah, there's a lot to training models, but it's some ethical dilemma as well when it comes to determining who to save, that kind of situation.
Right, you make some wonderful points, and yes, and one thing that we tried to look at also is how can we discover where these gaps exist through testing, through re-examining the UIs that we create. How can we broaden our scope so that there's an understanding of what is going on and how our job relates to fixing those issues? Because most certainly an issue that, like somebody getting killed, it seems to me in my mind like there would be code to keep someone from getting hit in the middle of the road as well. So I think that, in terms of social issues, we want to discover these things because we have time. We are in the times now where we're going to have cars that AI is running them. We're going to have all kinds of appliances that are we already do. And so these considerations are maybe currently a little bit outside of the scope of, let's say, a front-end developer who might look at the UI, but they won't be for long because these are the issues that will come up as we continue to use and learn this technology.
Awesome. Thank you. Such a brilliant summary from the group. They were very sophisticated. I actually encourage everyone to explore and just to see where it's applicable to you and maybe just to enrich each other, right? Your ideas. Thank you for the room run by Judith. Now we heard from the room 5 and room 3. Can we hear from David's room?
Sure. I'm group 1, and I really appreciate the time that Asa, Casey, Caden, and Rinchin and I got to chat about our experiences with ChatGPT, but I'm going to turn it over to Rinchin, who's going to kind of summarize some of what the group shared out.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rinchin. Thank you all for giving me an opportunity to speak here. So what our group have summarized is that we can integrate the ChatGPT as a bot into a messaging service like a Facebook Messenger or a Telegram Messenger. Actually, Telegram allows you to create bots and give them functionality to those bots. So on top of that, let's say you've created that bot and you can use that bot as you can use that bot to include it into a group chat. And inside that group chat, you can have people from different backgrounds who speak different languages, and you can actually do live translation with that group chat because ChatGPT is a language model after all, and it's able to learn from languages. And it's how do I say that? It's takes language as an input, and as we give it more and more input, it will learn better and better. And if we give if we make that AI model to translate from one language to another, it will be able to translate things much more accurately. The thing with Google Translate service is that Google Translate doesn't always translate one language to another accurately, and sometimes you can lose the meaning. But here you can do it not only how do I say that accurately, but you can also use it on a large scale, and you can connect the whole globe with this technology. Oh, potentially. I know it all sounds good, but it's actually very difficult. Also, another thing that we've discussed is that we can integrate the ChatGPT model into the text editor, like a VS Code, a PyCharm, or Microsoft Word. Let's say you are writing an essay and you'd like to Google some ideas, and you don't have to switch tabs. You don't have to like go on Google and do your research. You can just go you can just do the research right from your text editor in Word, and it's also going to be able to translate that text into multiple languages without losing the meaning of that initial text. So yeah, these are some ideas that we've discussed. And
thank you, Vincent. Yeah, and so we also discussed some of our first timers who were just learning to interact with ChatGPT and some of the limitations and how to phrase questions. So it was neat to talk about the level of where can this be integrated, and also how do I even interact with this thing? And so having a variety of discussions was really neat.
That is amazing. David, now you see what students are capable of, right? Age is not a limitation at all. Age is a role model for us today, I shall say. And everyone, actually, please note, David Tchaikovsky is wearing the t-shirt. So we are going to award the t-shirts to the teams who will win. We'll stay all through the hackathon today, and we'll present at the end. We shall reveal the challenge very soon. Let's hear from the Jack's room.
Sure.
What room it was?
I had in our breakout room, Evan Matthews, Mike Maklazak, Kay Andrin, and Dana Edwards, and we discussed. We had everybody offer their opinion on different questions. What I'd like to do is, Evan, if it's all right, would you mind summarizing the experience that we had?
So I had a couple things open. I totally lost everything, and I am totally sidetracked right now. So if someone else can take that over, I'd really appreciate it.
Sure. Mike, how about you?
Yeah, we talked about various items. Myself, I was trying to get specific data for the town, and ChatGPT couldn't get specific data such as assessed values of properties. And what else did I have? Information on short-term rentals. Like one of the problems we have in our town is short-term rentals are popping up, and they don't necessarily register. They register with Airbnb, but we don't know how many are in our town. So that was, ChatGPT was not helpful, but we had some other input on that, and other team members can jump in.
All right. How about you, Kay? Have you want to give me your experience on what questions you typed in, or your opinion?
So I'm essentially a really actually new user to the interface, and I just did it as an experiment, asking questions that people would ask me in my business, and I was surprised, unusually surprised at how quickly things showed up.
Okay. Dana, how about you?
Yes, I asked ChatGPT about a health disparities experienced by African Americans in Hudson Valley. So, and it was able to give me a lot of information covering like a lot of like different areas like mental health, chronic illnesses, mental health, and infant mortality rates and things like that. So pretty interesting.
Thank you, Dana. So Yulia, to summarize, we did get a wide range of examples, and I was really impressed with Evan's experience with ChatGPT, where he explained his experience with actually designing a web page by entering the data into ChatGPT, and he was getting he got an entire cascade CSS file returned back to him with just one error. I focused more on the societal implications of AI in general, and actually it was Udomazua that provided me with, he articulated it better than I could with the example of ChatGPT associating rulers with infections And I was trying to articulate that, but he took the words right out of my mouth. I expressed my skepticism towards this, but a healthy skepticism in trying to learn more about ChatGPT. This was actually the first time I ever created an account and signed on to it. I wanted to do more research on it before I actually created an account and offered a phone number to to send a passcode. That's just how I am. But one thing that I was concerned about was a number of the points. I share the same concerns that a number of other people brought up in terms of how algorithms can be biased because of the people that are creating the algorithms and how it impacts people of color in our society. And that's it.
Beautiful summary. Thank you, Jack. And we are in exploratory mode. Yes, Kate.
Hi, Jack, would you mind saying that last sentence again? Because it sounded really important. Do you mind repeating it?
If I can even remember what I said. I guess it was.
I heard something
yeah,
about
I'm very concerned about when it comes to artificial intelligence, or just the whole nature of algorithms, and how the algorithms are themselves have proven to be biased because of the people that are creating them. And if we're handing that over to systems, AI, what is considered artificial intelligence or ChatGPT or tools like this, that it's going to be ingesting those same biases, and it's going to be negatively impacting members of our society for reasons that were spelled out perfectly by other people during these sessions.
Thank you.
Excellent summary. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Kate. Once again, we are just in exploratory mode. We are trying to see what ChatGPT is capable of, but we're not limiting ourselves to that, because then we will switch to data, how to verify all this artificial intelligence, how to verify all of these biases and assumptions. And I think now we have to hear from the room 4, represented by Cynthia. Let's finish this first round and then we'll start the new one.
So our group, basically, we had Wayne and Miss Chara and Kyle, and we focused on a variety of different things. Wayne talked about the types of applications that he had worked in, and he mentioned something very important, that in some cases it appeared that ChatGPT was being serious and it gave an accurate response. And in other cases it seemed like it was not being serious. I'm going to ask Wayne if he wants to expand on that a little bit, just to share some of the things that he had learned in utilizing ChatGPT. I think you said for about 6 months now, right? Wayne, would you be open to doing that? Just sharing with the group what you had shared with us? And if not, that's okay. I know Kyle had talked about asking ChatGPT to write some literary work. Kyle, do you want to talk about that? Yes, no? Yeah.
I just, we were just talking about different ways that we had used it, and I'm kind of a new user of it, but I mentioned that I had played around with it a little bit, asking it to write poems and stories and things like that with friends. Not so much in the problem solving sphere like we're doing tonight. So this is an interesting new perspective on it.
Absolutely. And we talked about how ChatGPT is conversational. So it's really inherent about stories and things about that nature. Ms. Chara, you had some interesting things to share. Do you want to go ahead and share those, your observations?
Sure. We had kind of discussed how ChatGPT, the perspective that I've seen several different perspectives on, the utility of the technology. And one of the things that we discussed was I guess like the sermon that the rabbi requested of GPT, and how people were kind of taken aback. They were surprised. And I think that frequently, because GPT tends to be a little bit on the nose when it comes to, deeper issues, more like human issues, how do we use ChatGPT in a way that doesn't trigger people, that doesn't, keep them so much in their feelings that they don't, receive the information or the logic behind the arguments that chat, creates. But even more so with ChatGPT, not being a human, not having feelings that can be heard, how do we use this technology to do and to answer a lot of the questions that are involved in the heavier mental lifting of our larger, more existential, challenges. Chat sometimes seems to have a personality of its own, kind of like Lambda. But how do we draw that line and really be able to utilize the power that it has is the kind of technology that it is.
That's a great point. Thank you so much for sharing that. One of the things was mentioned earlier was the idea of bias, and that is absolutely an issue and something in technology that I've been fighting against for a long time. So we have to remember that if ChatGPT is using data that humans created and ideas and thoughts and those types of things that humans created, it's limited in that it only can work with what it has, and the inferences it's going to make is based on what it sees, right? So that's something that's very, very important. The other thing is it's very easy to write code and to structure an approach to a problem in a very biased way. And that's something that as technologists, we always want to make sure that we have not skewed our thought patterns. We haven't closed our minds to other possibilities. And that's something that's very important. So mentioning the ruler and the infection, there's probably a ton of pictures, like all of the textbook pictures where they have a ruler next to an infection, because that's a classic way of measuring something topical on the skin, right? So it's highly likely that ChatGPT was fed that data. And so what does it do with that? That's what's very important. It's just important to recognize the limitations and then work within that. I think that's really what our group focused on.
Thank you. Beautiful summary.
I mean, I could show a limitation right now because I've been using ChatGPT for a while. And if I could share my screen, if that's okay, I'll show you one of my interactions with ChatGPT. So I was looking at, if you loop several operators together, what's the order in which Python would resolve them? And so I put this in, and then it says, oh, Python would, will go follow this order. But then it says, since the binary and the AND operators have equal precedence, it takes it from left to right. So that would be from
you were asked to
beginning
make
to the
screen
end.
bigger if possible.
Okay, sorry. It goes from left to right. So because the operators have equal precedence. But then the very next thing I asked, okay, for this question, what does it evaluate to? And then it says, all has lower precedence than AND. Meanwhile, here it just said AND and all have equal precedence. So it gave an incorrect answer. And the answer I get from this output is not what I get when I put it in the console in Python, in the Python IDE. So clearly it was picking information from different sources that said different things and putting out on the, as the response. And I also had a case, but I can't find it because I've got several, very long history of chats with ChatGPT. I had a question where I was asking it about, I think I put in a code in it and it gave me an output. I said, okay, with this code, this is the output you get. And I said, no, that answer is wrong. And I said, okay, sorry, it's a mistake. This is the output you get. And I said, no, it's still wrong. And I said, sorry, that's a mistake. This is the output you'd get. I wish I could find that and show you. It's really hilarious. It just kept giving, like it was guessing and giving me all kinds of random answers. And none of them was correct. So yeah, it does have a lot of limitations. Apart from the bias, it could be outright wrong.
Thank you so much. I think it was very interesting exploration, and we are right on our timing right now. So we have 2 hours left, and out of those 2 hours, we have next big thing, the Hackathon Challenge Review. Okay, Dr. Cynthia, are you ready to say a few words about that?
Absolutely. I'm going to share my screen. All right. So we are going to first talk about group process, and I'm going to share my slideshow, go back to where we ended before. So our group process, we're going to be broken up into groups. We want to use ChatGPT as your AI agent for social good. Again, it is exploratory. So as a group, you want to decide what problem area you will focus on for social good. You will discuss with your group what questions you want to ask ChatGPT. You want to decide what open data you will use. And there's a hint, ChatGPT may be able to help you locate these. Hint, hint. You want to, very importantly, document everything you learn about your problem, because you're going to articulate that in the presentation when you actually present to us. You want to write a conclusion about what your team learned about the problem. Remember, you're investigating. You want to talk about your investigative process and the integration of open data and AI for research purposes. Okay, so that is basically going to be our goal. So here's the actual challenge. Okay, and you want to be taking notes on this. So question, and this is a very big question. How can we use ChatGPT to research a problem that exists in the Mid-Hudson Valley? Okay. Now, some of you might be saying, well, what problems exist in Hudson Valley, Mid-Hudson Valley? And that's perfectly okay. Remember, you're going to be starting high level and going down, right? Can we find open data sets that we can use to inform our understanding of the problem? And then what insights can be gained by using open data with AI to better understand the dynamics of the problem? So that's what the challenge is about. So you're going to come back to the group and inform us as to what you found. So you're going to be like an investigator. You know, what are the problems and what did we learn about it? And that is our challenge. Okay.
Thank you very much for this summary.
Will
Questions?
we have these 2 slides as a guide in the breakout rooms?
Entire 2 slides, only one.
Just to post the challenge.
Yep.
Of course.
So that we
We will
remember
combine
it.
those. Yeah, we will combine those and we will make, actually, I think it would be right thing just to share the entire slide deck with you.
Yes.
With you all.
Yeah.
What slides are there? What numbers? Not slides number.
They are slides 7 and 8.
Okay, and I'm going to give you the link.
Yep.
In the chat.
Okay, thank you. I was just going to do that, but okay. Yep.
Okay, while everyone has the access to the slide deck Dr. Cynthia was using today, I have a question to everyone. How comfortable you were working with your breakout room team members? Do I need to do some rearrangement? Are you comfortable to work as a team like that? Or probably we need to enlarge those groups? Because next hour, dedicated hour, will be really your group team, collaborative work, exploratory, real research, really data-driven research.
And if I'm right, I believe they'll be doing it without a facilitator because we will be reviewing. They will be presenting to us. Yeah.
That's the thing. That's the thing. So I'm wondering, shall we make groups a little bit bigger?
Yes, we have a vote for that. It looks like, Julia. Yeah.
So let me put, first of all, the link to slide deck. I will also add this to the Hackathon channel at the Slack.
It's
Because I
also
see
in
questions.
the chat. It's also in the chat. Yeah.
Yes, it is in the chat. Someone can help me to put this link, to repeat this link into.
I will.
I'm here. I'm here. Okay.
Okay, I got it. I got it. You want it in planning? Yeah.
Everything is good. Yay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. So I'm asking one last time, shall we make groups larger? Because there were groups a little bit small. How's Cynthia's group feel about it? Do you want to be in grouped? Maybe Judith and Cynthia group. I would probably make you together. How do you feel about that?
That works for me. Everybody in the group agree?
Jack's group
Vince?
seems very sustainable, like active.
I think we're good. Give me a thumbs up. Okay. Okay.
Good means you want to stay as it is, or you want to be like in the bigger.
We'd like to be bigger. That's
Okay.
my vote.
Okay. Dr. Cynthia, how about your group?
Group, how do you feel? Kyle, Wayne, Ms. Chara? Again,
You
you
good enough?
three are going to be alone unless you ask for more team members.
We can have a bigger team if, that might be nice.
Nice to do what?
Bigger team.
Yep. Okay. Okay, I hear those two groups want to be combined. How about the David group? How is your group?
The responses I've seen so far is that group 1 is open for enlarging the group.
Okay. So I will do that for sure.
I'm sorry, I didn't
Mhm.
let me I leave that decision to the group as well. I do will note based on I again, Evan seems to be the subject matter expert with respect to ChatGPT. And then I would Mike and then Dana and Kay would how would you feel about keeping as one group, or do you want to be part of a larger group?
I don't have a preference.
We can be a larger group.
Yeah, that's fine with me also.
Okay. Sounds like I have to recreate groups, and I hear some ideas about that. John, would you like to play some music? Because I think I just have the experience that we need sanitation break, we need some losing break. Make sure to hydrate, get some drinks, take your 5 minutes break, and John will play beautiful music. Come back, and I will open breakout rooms for you for the next hour, and then you will be on your own without facilitators.
Very good.
5 minutes. We will see each other at 6:35. Feel free to dance. Okay. Getting ready. Once again, I'm putting this challenge on the screen. As a reminder, I made rooms ready. Go explore. If you have any issues with these, come back to the stage, to the main stage, and I will reassign anything what you would like to see happen. What I'm seeing, okay, what I would like to summarize. First of all, thank you all for your commitment, because you are doing very important work right now. You are helping us to define and prioritize what the real challenges are in the Hudson Valley, what is worth for us to focus on. Your focus, your concentration will inform our decision. We want to be data-driven ourselves as OpenHub, as HV Tech Fest team members, and we really want your help, your feedback. Please do the best work you can do and help us to inform our decisions. We will add a few toolkits and open data resources into the Slack channel, and we'll also replicate those into the chat, Zoom chat as well. But we don't want to reveal those without your initial try. Make sense? Are we good? Any questions? Shall I open breakout rooms? Our excellent facilitators will become judges. So they are not joining you, but they will be hopping in the rooms if you will ask help. To ask help, you either request the help from breakout room or you come to the main stage and share what the question you have, and we will jump on it. Ready? Steady? Timing for another hour. So we will see each other at 7:30. It's 6:40 right now. I think 15 minutes would be the best. And at 7:30, your breakout rooms will choose the leader, or you will alternate who will be presenting, and you will be given 5 minutes to present. Deal? They're good? You're welcome to join your breakout rooms. Thank you, team. Awesome job, everyone. Anurag, you didn't have a chance to explore this first time? Join. Kyle, Peter. Yes, Dana.
Yeah, I don't know how to get to my breakout room. Last time it just automatically popped up.
Yeah, it's okay. So in your menu, Zoom menu, you can see breakout rooms.
Dana's not assigned.
Okay. Okay.
I will assign her.
Yes, please.
I'm going to put her in room 1.
Thank you.
Yep,
We just couldn't decide which group would benefit from you, Dana. So we're excited that you can join all of them, but one's a good place to start.
There you go. Yeah. Yep.
Such a good answer. Thank you.
And Kyle? Kyle's in room 3.
Yes, she shall be. Maybe she's still on the break. It's okay. She will join.
I'm just going to, oh, no, I'm not. Okay, great.
Shall I stop or pause recording? I don't know.
I think so.
I think, yeah.
Yeah,
Pause
it's a good idea.
Pause it, and then you can start it up when we, yeah.
Okay.
So,
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. How was it? Short, right? Too short.
Yes.
Of course, it's just the beginning. It's always like that. But at least you experienced this, and it was fun, was it?
It was fun, yes.
So what
Yes,
we
I had a
will
good time.
do, Yay! That's the main point. What we will do, we will ask you when your presentation will be done, right? We will have some minutes left, and make sure to share your LinkedIn accounts or just hang out on Slack, because that's where you can continue. It's just the beginning of the journey, and you are informing our decisions for the future hackathons, which will be coming very soon. The team is working to have something at the spring, maybe something at the fall. We will keep you posted. So everything what you got done so far, it will be very useful, and you will have potential recruited team already by now, because you know everyone and you know who is capable of what. So you will engage each other to continue collaboration. Make sense? Okay. Looks like almost everyone is back. Yes, thumbs up. Yeah, hopefully some rich conversation happen. Okay. I will ask someone, I don't know, David, would you like to be in charge for timekeeping?
Certainly, I can do that.
6 minutes will be given for each team. You will be judged based on judging criteria, but don't worry, it's not the real judging. It's really, we want to explore what you discovered, and we want to accept or not accept, or probably partially accept, we will see these as a challenges for the future hackathons to continue this awesome work you guys done so far. Make sense? Team number 1 is ready. Did you have a chance to explore your judging criteria? Do we need Dr. Cynthia to address this? One more time?
The criteria, we have a link, yes, that we shared with everyone.
We do have the link.
So has everyone had a chance to read the criteria, and does anyone have a question about the criteria and how we worded it?
I haven't seen the link. Where was it shared?
Yulia, we shared both of
Yes, we both Slack and chat, and also we broadcasted this, and I will show you how to find this. So here we are at the
share on
HV
screen.
Fest.
Yeah.
And you jump on the hackathon specifically, and you scroll all the way down, and you will see judges information. And here you go. Here is your beautiful mentors who turned to be judges. And the main judging criteria are described right there. But I believe Dr. Cynthia can specifically address some of those.
Yes. So what we're looking for in your solution, your entry is going to be hopefully have some type of a specific problem that you have as a group decided that you're going to utilize, and you want to make sure that you have some way of presenting that problem in a way that we understand. So as you're working on your presentation, your teamwork and collaboration will be evident. Any user information or user interface is not applicable, obviously, because there's no end product like a PowerPoint or something like that, because you didn't have time to develop that. But
for future hackathons, it
that's
will be.
right. That's right. But for tonight, what's really essential is the technical skills in researching your problem and the potential solution, and coming up with a statement of conclusion. That's what's really important. That shows that you did a very deep dive into the research and that you documented everything and you brought it back to us. So your entry will be evaluated in 4 ways. Community impact, meaning how is your solution and the problem that you've identified in the community going to impact that community? Problem mitigation, what did you determine is the possibilities for solving the problem, addressing the problem, right? And mitigation is basically addressing the problem, not necessarily eradicating it, but being able to address the problem in a meaningful way. And alignment with the problem area is going to be very important. So when you propose a solution or a mitigation, you want to make sure that it really aligns with that problem, that you haven't strayed from that problem and gone into another territory, because let's face it, ChatGPT is so much fun, right? And then the last one is innovation impact. Think about how you approach the problem as a group and how innovative were you, and how does that create an innovative solution? We know there's lots of problems out there and there's solutions, but maybe they're not the best ones. So innovation is taking that known solution to a problem and raising it to the next level, raising that bar. And that's really what we need in young people's minds today, and even older folks like me. How do we look at a problem and attack it differently, approach it differently? So that's what we're looking at.
I shall say there is no risk, because you were not given this judging criteria. You were put on the spot. You actually accepted the challenge and you did have fun. This is the main criteria for us. You did have fun. You did have a collaboration. You did experience a hackathon as it's supposed to be, in a very condensed setup and very intensive setup. It was scary, but you accepted this challenge. This is amazing. This itself put you into the winner shoes. And we have only 3 teams, so for sure you will all win. Those who survive till the end, bingo, here you go. You're all the winners by default. But let's play the official game and let's have 5-6 minutes.
Dropped it to 5.
Okay,
So each
I'm
team has
sorry.
5 minutes.
Okay, first team. Who is the speaker?
Which
Who is
team?
ready? Team number 1. Who will be the speaker from the team number 1? The team number 1 has Kaiden, Dana, Casey, Asia, and Peter.
Would you all want me to share it, team, or Renchen, you want to go with it?
Okay, I'll do it. But if Casey has if anybody in my team has any suggestions, feel free to interrupt me and to add your point of view on that. So
Okay, time.
Yeah,
David, go.
I'm gonna share my screen with you. Here we go. So what we've done is, excuse me, we've documented our queries to the ChatGPT. Does anybody here see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. So we have, here is the screenshot. How can we use ChatGPT to research a problem that exists in the Hudson Valley? Well, how can we use it? We can actually ask ChatGPT to help us identify the problems that are present in Mid-Hudson Valley. So what we did is we asked ChatGPT, what problems are present in Hudson Valley? And it responded with housing affordability. Houses are not affordable in the Hudson Valley. And the cost of housing in the Hudson Valley has been rising in recent years, making it difficult for many residents to find affordable places to live. So we pinpointed the problem. Housing affordability is what our go-to, and we would like to solve it. And we would like to investigate this issue further. Later, housing data sets for Hudson Valley, because we need to see the open data sets that we can learn from, that will give us the understanding of the problem and provide us with some insights. So we asked ChatGPT, what are the housing data sets for Hudson Valley? And it gave us the Zillow data set. We can actually Google it and go on Zillow, and it will share with us some useful information about prices in different areas of Hudson Valley, and we can make some conclusions from that. All right. So we have identified open data sets that we can use to inform our understanding of the problem. Later, what insights can be gained by using open data with AI to better understand the dynamics of the problem. So what we did here is we wanted to pinpoint the areas in Hudson Valley that are most expensive. And it provided us with this information, giving us some numbers over here. And how would we, so one part of solving a problem is identifying the problem. The second part of the problem is actually solving it, actually making some actions towards it. And in order for us to make some actions, we need to, in order for us to provide the affordable housing for the people who need it, we need to get the funding from it. So for our houses. So how would we implement the idea of building affordable housing in these 4 most expensive areas in Hudson Valley? And where would we get the funding for it, for that idea of providing the affordable housing? And we need to, what ChatGPT responded is with that we need to identify funding sources. We need to find the nonprofit organization and private developers that can leverage, that are willing to provide the funding to build those houses. Later, we pinpoint some organizations, and one of the organizations, New York State Homes and Community Renewal.
1 minute.
Yes.
1 minute.
New York State Homes and Community Renewal is a state agency that provides funding and technical assistance to support the development of affordable housing in New York State. To conclude, ChatGPT is a phenomenal technology that allows you to query, to ask questions in whatever manner you are comfortable with. And I highly encourage each and every one of you to take advantage of it because it's super easy to use and the data is so accessible. And sometimes data is very valuable. And it also fills this gap between people who don't have the maybe the opportunity to get the higher education. They can always query ChatGPT. What things should I learn to become this or that? And this is the end of my speech.
Hey.
Bingo. Wonderful timing. Great job.
Good job.
Thank you so much, the team. I think we will not interrupt the process of presenting for the judges, right? Shall we switch to the team 2 immediately, right here? Awesome job. Who will be presenting from the team 2? I'm wondering if Kenny Zhang can do that.
Who are those in team 2? Because I'm not sure of my team number.
Your team number is 3.
Okay.
I believe I am too.
Yes.
Okay.
Connor, Dragana, Evan, Kenny Zhang, Mike, Vincent, team 2.
Got it. All right. Sharing my screen now. Whenever you're ready, you can. Am I sharing the right screen? I hope so.
Yeah.
Presentation? Yeah. Perfect. Let me know when time starts. Don't want to start ahead. Okay. So we actually had the time to throw in a presentation together, about 18 slides. So we did the exact same thing. We focused on the affordability of housing in the Mid-Hudson Valley. Again, it was a suggestion of ChatGPT. So I guess ChatGPT has a similarity between it. We had overall a really interesting conclusion from ChatGPT, but touching on that later. First part of it is the actual housing crisis. As ChatGPT explained, the Hudson Valley is facing, as it describes, a housing crisis due to increasing demand and limited supply. So, little data here. These were sources that were actually linked by ChatGPT, and we took them into our presentation. The questions that we actually asked ChatGPT was what state, sorry, give me 1 second. I'm doing 2 devices at once. So what is the state of affordable housing in the Hudson Valley? What are the zoning laws in Hudson Valley? What is the relation of availability of land to the affordable housing problem? What is the relation of high construction costs to the lack of affordable housing? And can we address the affordable housing problem in Hudson Valley with mobile homes? A lot of these questions were answered by ChatGPT, and so we have a couple open source data sets that it did provide when giving us the answers. A lot of them are actually very reputable sources. And where the interesting part comes in is it provided us some sources that do not exist. AKA, we have some reports here. We got 3 reports that ChatGPT actually sourced and cited as its sources when we asked for their sources. This first, back one, this first report straight up does not exist. When searching multiple key terms of it, this article does not exist in any modifiable way. The second source did kind of exist, but it seemed like it was modified. The title was modified, so it somewhat existed. Third source actually did exist, and somewhat surprised by that when we got down to it. So analysis of the data, we did try giving ChatGPT a Google Excel sheet with data copied directly from Redfin, which is just a platform where you can sell, buy, rent houses. And it lied, saying that it could see my Google Excel sheet. I asked it what the mean value of home values is, and it straight up made a falsified mean value. To double check this, we asked what the first row of the Google document actually said. It then admitted that it could not see the document. So we did learn a lot of things from it. It did give some pretty accurate information when it came to zoning laws, land availability, construction costs. It did give some sources on all of this, and they were valid. But when it came to those reports, it was definitely not, and it did give us some falsified numbers. What I did learn is if you actually put the actual data into the text input, then it will give you the correct output. I gave it a list of prices of homes. It was probably about 500 lines of text. It then parsed through it, averaged it, and gave us a correct value. So it can do data analysis, but it cannot look at slides, and it will lie to you in some scenarios. So that is something that you will have to look out for when using ChatGPT. It will also provide you some links that straight up do not exist. Not close whatsoever. A New York State website, I think gov was spelled wrong, so GV instead of GOV. So all of the information really should be validated. For conclusion, all of it, ChatGPT should not be trusted. Time.
Bravo. Awesome job, everyone. It's amazing how much you were able to achieve. But no comments, just bravo. Bravo team 1, bravo team 2. Team 3, are you ready?
Okay, I'll share my screen. So mine is going to be less structured, and I'll just run you through the approach. We just try to go through the key points in the challenge. So we don't have a conclusion and all that, but we're just looking at how we can leverage the ChatGPT tool to get some answers, basically. So I started with we started asking about the Mid Hudson Valley region. and demographic of the region, and then we asked for the major social problems in the region, and it gave us, of course, salary housing, well, salary income inequality, substance abuse, environmental issues, housing affordability, and access to healthcare. However, we did try to get data, and I was looking for structured data, not just graphs or charts that, or get data. I wanted structured data that I could feed into the model to get its analysis. And a lot of links it gave was all broken, and I guess that's because it's understandable, because that's because it was fed on data from 2001 and 2021 and older. So I guess a lot of these sites have changed and all that. So either ways, we ended up settling on the one where we could get structured data from, and that was on pollution, environmental issues, specifically pollution. So yeah, there are broken links, so we'll get in most of them. But ultimately, I didn't get the link from ChatGPT. I had to do a Google search to get the link where I got the pollution data for New York. And then I had to ask also, because I couldn't get data for on the Mid-Hudson Valley as a unit, because it's made up of several counties. So I did ask at some point to list the counties in the region, and then I'll check the county data. But I realized that when you put in so much data in the text field, it just breaks and doesn't give you an output. Yeah, it's tied with, so initially it would break, and then I had to split it down by county. So I just filtered all my data to just the first county on the list, which was Dutchess County, and I paste that in there, and it does. So I put it in here, and then it gives some analysis, and it comes out really quickly. Oh, sorry, I had to put it a few times. And then it said the table shows blah, blah, blah. And I could ask it to provide further analysis on this data. And then it goes into a lot more detail about on the analysis. So we didn't analyze this output. We just got this result from the data. And then I also picked up data on the particles in the air, how much pollution you have in the air. And that data was fed into it, also just for Dutchess County, not for the entire Hudson Bay, because not enough time to go through each county one by one. And then it gives us some analysis on the data as well. It analyzes it quite extensively and gives some percent. We didn't check the numbers, but it did put out this information. So I tried to see if there's correlation between the two, the ozone exposure and the particle data. Is there any kind of correlation you can draw, but it couldn't pull up any correlation. I just said it's difficult to determine whether there's a correlation because the two data sets are quite distinct. There's no overlap that it could use to drop a correlation. So ultimately, I would say since you cannot handle very large data sets in the text field, it does handle much smaller data sets. And in general, it could it could be used to get some aggregate analysis of the data. I mean, of course, it could do mean, median, and mode, as group 2 said, but it does give you in some kind of summary what the data is all about. So in a nutshell, I would say that brings to the end. We didn't get to conclusion of we didn't provide a solution, but that's how far we got by the time was up. Thank you.
Awesome job. You were fastest. Nice share out, absolutely. Great job, leaders. I mean, presenters. It's bravo.
Oh, did I share my screen? Oh my, I wasn't sharing my screen the whole time.
Yeah, no, we see your screen.
Oh, you see it? Okay, okay. I don't see the mark showing that it's shared. Strange. All right.
You can stop sharing now.
Okay.
And it's interesting how much you can inform our decisions given the different approaches. You were taking such a different approaches. It's just amazing. Look at these 3 teams. Totally different approach, different ways how they address, how they pursue the challenge, and how they present it, and how they focused their intention and goals. It's amazing. Just bravo. Let me do the following. I'm creating the breakout room for judges only right now. And I want judges to take their time to deliberate. Oops. Okay. saying that everyone, please take your time to network. You can unmute, you can share, you can share your LinkedIn if you have any. You can make plans how you want to go forward with everything what you've done so far. If you do want to go forward with that, okay. Give me 1 minute and I'm putting judges into one room. Okay. Judges, welcome to the main room, to the dedicated room. Everyone else? No, John, to play music. Okay. How do you want to approach it?
Well, I can play music.
You can play music, or you can start sharing and just like, what did you learn from today? What did you learn about hackathons? Maybe it's time to share some feedback. Maybe it's time to just to express some appreciation to your team members. I don't know. Any volunteers?
Thank you to you, Julia,
Thank you to me.
for organizing this.
Because it was fun, right? But thank you. I appreciate your thank you very much. Thank you, Dragana. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you, Julia. It was great. I learned a lot and learned a lot from my teammates, especially Evan and Connor and everybody else. So I'm glad we found those faults in ChatGPT, and we will be more confident using it from now on. So it was a great experience.
Those were some really interesting things to find with ChatGPT, and the fact that it straight up lied to me.
Yeah, that was really funny and
Eye-opening.
interesting.
Don't be
Yeah,
angry. It lies to everyone.
I'm ashamed to admit that I didn't even think of checking whether the reports were real or not. I just trusted it, and I got my trust broken.
You were informed about biases, but at least biases. You know, judges were having a good time too. We discussed the philosophical approach about that. Who did I interrupt? Please go ahead.
Oh, this is Chara. I was going to say that in the last couple of weeks, there have been some pretty intense discussions on Twitter about how easy it is for ChatGPT to kind of produce a fallacy and or a fallacy because it just draws on all these different sources, but then basic math, basic comparative stats, things like that, it tends to fudge the information on those quite frequently. So there's kind of a discussion now about, the fact that chat, relies on a pretty large language model. I guess that, had been the collection of data up until about like 2018. But they even asked it about like Elon, and they were like, well, Elon died in a car accident back in 2018, which he didn't. So it's very interesting because it's such a powerful tool, but the same way that it has the propensity to, kind of make things up, it also has the ability to help us solve our issues, like our higher, like our higher threshold issues, if it's trained on like the right kind of data. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. Instead of a single edge, we got a double edge. But there's so much room for like growth and improvement on the technology itself. It's really exciting to see, where
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much, Ms. Charan, for sharing this. Actually,
So it's Fitting College here, and we're really glad to have this opportunity to like join our local community and like perform do this hackathon. And like since we're like students here, like we already been using it quite a lot, but like we still learned like a lot of new things today, and it was a great experience today.
Very intensive learning, that's true. But also it's very job related experience. That's what you will be doing, problem solving at your job, actually. And I put my LinkedIn in the chat as well. Feel free to connect with me. I will be absolutely happy to recommend everyone who participated in this hackathon. You were like proving your skills, you were proving your collaboration, soft skills, communication skills, leadership skills, challenge accepting skills, and the real white hat hacking skills, which are problem solving. It's amazing, guys. So you will get my referral.
Thank you.
Whoever you need to.
I just wanted to add too, ChatGPT really replicates human behavior because humans give invalid data all the time. And it's just ChatGPT just picking up on that data and displaying that information.
Well
I
said.
can't do that, Dave.
What are your thoughts on oh, I'm sorry. What are your thoughts on, I guess, the issue of, you know, all these various kinds of sites that are, you know, providing, you know, inaccurate or impartial information? Like, do you think that we should, you know, develop a solution for resolving that to make GPT a more accurate tool, or what? How do you feel like we can you know, tackle that challenge next?
Good question. Are you asking everyone?
Yes, the question is for everyone.
I think that ChatGPT specifically, it's all information on the internet has the capacity to be wrong or to be flawed in some sense, and completely striving for total accuracy, I think, is a goal that is unattainable. But of course, trying to make it as good as we can, but making it not ever spit out the wrong information, I don't think that's something that could be attainable.
What do you think would be what do you think is a good number? You know, 40% of the data, 60% of the data, you know, 80% of the data. If we can't hit 100, what do you think we should aim for?
I can give you an interesting survey I just read about. They estimate that 58% of Fox News is incorrect or false, whereas CNN, about 22% is incorrect or false. So it's 1 out of 5 or 3 out of 5. You take your choice.
This is a very interesting stat. I hadn't read that before.
I think for ChatGPT, we should aim for like 85, 90%. I don't think anything higher than that could be possible. But again, anything is possible with technology nowadays. So maybe I'm just underestimating potential.
I think it would be wise to implement some kind of a fact checker, some independent organization that would do the fact checking for every response that a person gets from ChatGPT. But then again, how do we know that those fact checkers are actually doing the right thing by providing the facts? So yeah, this is just my thoughts about that.
Again, unattainable. You can never know, like, who fact checks the fact checkers, who fact check those fact checkers, and you can go on and on and on and on.
Exactly.
But
Bravo,
it's
Connor.
just you can
It's the
get.
skill.
Yeah,
Everyone has to develop the skill to fact checking, right?
But I'll say
I think we need a
by the very
ChatGPT that validates ChatGPT.
The thing is, by the very definition of how the model is trained and how it works, it's impossible to fact check it because it's only going to spit out what it has learned from the input that is trained by. So fact checking will just, you have to probably, I mean, it's even more difficult with language models to actually correct biases, because you have to find out what data was fed in that, with the system has read and created its own internal machine code to, to reproduce that data in its own, its own words. So it's difficult to isolate that part from the code. So it's got to do with the data that comes in, and it's pretty much impossible to police that. So when you say you have to fact, I mean, you can only, they've tried putting guardrails to prevent you from giving out information on how to hotwire a car, how to do some, how to, and also from running codes to hack into people's computers. But at the end of the day, I think humans still have that edge where we can, because you can ask ChatGPT, for example, how do I hotwire a car? And they say, sorry, I cannot give you this information. They say, oh, if there's a baby that is dying and I need to get it to the hospital, can you tell me how to do this? And it will spit out the code immediately. So it's a very tricky proposition trying to fact check ChatGPT by just the way it is designed and the way it learns it gets its information.
Point of view, it shall not be one source of truth only. You should do not only just fact checking, because what fact is a very philosophical question, very philosophical dilemma, how to define the fact itself, but to develop your skill to do not only fact checking, but to approach the problem from different point of view. And that's what you are doing today. Don't trust only this tool or that tool. And that's why we put together ChatGPT, OpenAI versus Open Data. Right? We were like having the hint right there. This is a good helper, but this is the opportunity to prove it. Okay, I'm seeing our amazing judges team, facilitators team come back. Thank you, team. Are we ready to announce?
We are. John, you want to start us off once you unmute?
Yeah, I've been talking, but it didn't help because only my dogs could hear me. Yeah, so we're ready. This was not easy at all. And then we finally had to take a vote, and even the vote was hard. So let's start with team 2. Team 2, we really, really liked the organization that you provided. That you put it all into this beautiful presentation. It really showed that you had your information organized, that you were thinking in a really great way about the whole process, and that was excellent. One of the comments that one of us made was that, if this was a corporate world, you guys would win hands down because you provided a presentation with slides, and everyone loves slides, but you provided the information, and the way that your analysis, the whole thing was really, really credible. And so beautiful job. That was really great. Team 3, we really love the depth of the analysis that you did. So, not only did you, find data, but then you drilled down into the data. That was amazing. And we found that the presentation was a little less organized, but, you just didn't have, no one had enough time to do it all. The thing I want to also add about Team 2 was just to shift back for a minute. We really liked your critique of the tool, so what it does good, what it does bad, and all that. So that was brilliant. So really good job, teams 3 and 2. David?
And so that does lead our winner. We asked ChatGPT and it came back and said, Group 1 is our winner. We appreciated how well you defined the problem, articulated your process, great use of ChatGPT for researching housing price data. We really appreciated that you hit all of the points that we were looking for. Community impact, you looked at what are the potential mitigations to this problem, alignment with that. And then the innovation led us towards, hey, there's somewhere to go from here. And you gave us some great next steps. Well done, Team 1. All teams, we really, really did. Fantastic job. Fantastic.
Yeah. Fantastic. Fantastic. Let's have a round of applause for everyone.
I do want to say that, having winners and non-winners in this is so, the difference between the teams in terms of who won was minuscule. So, okay, you didn't get the big prize, but you sure got very close. So congratulations to everybody. And as far as we're concerned, we're all winners because the whole thing was brilliant.
It's just amazing. Judges were having good time without you guys. Having philosophical discussion about all these things, artificial intelligence and fact checking and what facts are. And when judges were deliberating, students were having the same, pardon for saying that, participants were having the same actually statements, and very eye-opening and very philosophical and very multidimensional. That's what we liked to see very much. And that's what opened this world to the problem solving. It's amazing, guys.
Yeah, I just want to say, Yulia, I was, like I said, I walked into this whole thing skeptical today, but having been surrounded by people that were curious, critical, skeptical, optimistic, it really made me realize why I love joining these things, because I learned so much more from the people that are participating, as much, or I would say way more than the actual tool itself. And you've helped me reinforce a lot of a lot of my feelings, both in all different levels. So I hats off to everybody.
Thank you. You just highlighted the value of OpenHub. We are all about collaboration, bringing people together around technology to uplift each other, to find solutions, to do amazing work together, because togetherness is the answer to many, many challenges we are experiencing.
I want to say one more thing. Yulia, I want to really acknowledge you for being the driving force in OpenHub, and so I know, I'm pretty close to this, so I know what an uphill battle it is at times to get funding and participants and development. And you're really great at putting together a team and creating a really great experience. And so it's really, for me, I just want you to know it's an honor and privilege to work with you and to know you as a friend. So,
you will make me cry. Thank you.
Oh, yay, Yulia. I just want to say, really quickly to everybody who participated here, you guys are amazing, amazing, nothing short of amazing. I'm so glad you showed up. You taught me so much, and you gave me so much more enthusiasm for my job and for tomorrow. I'm just so happy that you're part of the software engineering community. So blessings to all of you, and I hope that you keep coming back and sharing with us.
Absolutely. As I said, we're here to learn
Yeah,
from
there
you.
should be more mini hackathons.
Let's do it. I put somewhere the link in the chat. So action item for everyone, please save the chat. Deal? Make sure you're on the Slack, HV Tech Fest Slack channel, because that's where you can direct message each other, or we have the channels for the hackathon and we can plan more fun activities. Also, there is a meetup group. Feel free to lead it. It's not just me telling you what to do, it's us. Right? Let's have more fun together. Saying that, I have a hard stop, guys. My family is calling. You probably is hungry, and everyone, awesome job. What I'm saying, the awards to winners goes to all who survived till the end.
Do we all get a
Period.
t-shirt?
Yes. T-shirt. You submitted your applications, so I have your t-shirt sizes. I have your emails, so probably I will ask my helpers to get me your mailing address to send those, but this is logistics. That's what we can handle one by one. No rush.
Hey,
Asa
wants to say something.
Sure. You survived. Just by. You survived all these 3 hours doing things, Asa.
We wrapped and learned so much. Thanks for putting this together.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye, everyone. Chat saved.
Bye.
All right, now hit leave. There you go.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.